Y'all may not be happy with what I have to tell you today. I'll start with that because we're talking about, and I get this question so many times. What do I say to capture people's attention when I'm emailing, or what? And so I'm gonna start with a confession or thought of this first. Here's the thing: you cannot grab anybody's attention if they're not ready to be grabbed. And so it's not what you say necessarily, right? I mean, think about it like this. We're ladies all in here, so this will help. Think about it like this. No matter if you're working on the internet, if you're tweeting or whatever you're doing, Facebook, and it doesn't really matter. Think about it like this. Let's say that you have a special event that you have to go to, and that you need a formal, something really formal looking, right? Okay. So you have in your mind kind of what you think you might want, or something that's very dressy, formally looking. And you drive by and you see this boutique shop. And this little boutique shop says at the top of it, maybe, "Let me dress you." And you're thinking, "I've never been in there. I'm looking for a formal. That's a great thing to do. Let me dress you. Maybe they can help me find the dress or whatever I need to wear." So you go into this boutique shop, and when you get in there, you realize that everything they have is extremely casual. It's hiking clothes and it's exercise clothes, nothing that's formal. Okay? So if the salesperson says to you, "Well, let me help you. Let me tell you what I have on special today. Let me show you this," but it's not what you need, are you going to listen or stay or buy from her?
Not me. I'm going to.
No, you're going to move.
Walk right out.
Yeah, you're going to move on to what you're looking for. So keep that in mind as we talk, because it's not what you say or how you say it. It's giving people what they need or what they want.
When they want it.
When they want it. When
they're
want
ready
it.
for it.
Exactly. So we get so caught up in what do I need to be doing and what do I need to be saying and how do I need to be saying this to capture these leads that's coming in on the internet. So I'm hoping to give you enough ideas that may help you, but here's what happens too many times, and I don't know if you've ever caught yourself doing this or not, but we try to do everything.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And we're just all over the place and focused on nothing. So before we leave today, I hope to draw you in to make one point, and that is to pick it and do it. Okay? But I want to go through the things, because here's the thing. I'm not saying you don't need to be on Facebook. I do believe you do. I'm at a disadvantage to one degree because I don't know all about your website that you have. I know James has always had a good development in his website, and I know he has been able to have a lot of leads, but I don't know what your back door looks like to say what you're capturing, how you're capturing those, what information you're getting when you capture them. I don't know through your websites, or when they capture and then they come back in or they come back and look again, does it show you what they're looking at? I don't know these things, okay? But what I'm going to tell you is this, and James is a very bright man, so he could help you with all of this if you're not getting it. You do need a capture of some sort, but you also need to give them what they need, okay? So whether it's your individual website or not, you got to make it sticky, for the lack of better, okay? So that when they come in and they're looking for something specific, you can give them enough of what they need to make them stick to it and keep looking, okay? Now, I don't know if your capture is they have to go in and fill out information. I don't know what that looks like, but the information ideally you would like for them to have for you is an email address and a phone number, okay? And a little bit about what they're looking for if they'll take the time. Now, people say, well, I get tons of leads, none of them's any good. They never respond back, I never get anything from them, I never hear anymore. Well, one of two things is doing. They've walked into the store and the store wasn't what was in there that they needed. And so you'll never capture them no matter what you say or how many times you contact them. Or they've walked into the store but they're just browsing. They're not quite ready to buy what they've seen yet. And you can't make them do it any faster. So what you got to learn to do when you're working through that process of doing that capture mode is to make sure that you don't give up. You got to stick with them. And you keep contacting them. If it's a good contact, okay? The faster, first and foremost, the faster the better. Here's the deal. And you think about this. it doesn't matter what you say when you're trying to capture them or get their attention or draw them into you if they're not ready. Okay? I can, if you're just looking and you found this dress that's just, you think is beautiful and perfect, but I really need to look a little more, I'm not really sure exactly if that's what I want, you're not going to sell it to me till I'm ready to go buy it, right? And you may come back and look at it more than one time. You may try it on more than one time. But you also may go some other places to look and see what they are. So if you don't focus on it and stay with it and keep talking to them until you figure out what they need, then you're going to lose them. Here's what I see happens too many times, especially in the world of trying to capture people who go on the internet, is that you will contact people, not you specifically, people, realtors, will contact them 2 or 3 times. If they get no response, they don't contact them anymore. Mm-hmm. You got to keep contacting them. But for 2 reasons. If they're not ready, they're not going to respond to you. Okay? If they're still searching or not ready. So then you've got to start thinking about, don't give up. Keep sending them stuff. Keep letting them know that you're there. You're here to help. I noticed if your website captures, I noticed that you were looking for properties in the country. Okay? Some of the websites will capture what they're looking at. Okay? Mm-hmm. If they are, I noticed you were looking, here's another property that just came on the market today. Are you still interested in country property? Here's something with a little bit less land. Here's something with a little bit more. You just keep working it. You just keep following up. If you don't continue to take that step and keep following up and you say, I noticed you were looking for company property. If I can help you, let me know. You don't hear anything, so you might send another one saying, I hadn't heard from you, so if you're still needing help, let me know, and you don't hear anything, and you might send more and more or not, then you quit. You don't quit. Keep stepping, keep stepping, keep stepping. You know, think of it like this. What you got to learn is it's like a big wagon wheel. And all those spokes, okay, are things that's going out that you need to be focusing on to try to grab into the hub of the wheel. And once you get it to the hub, then you're going to be able to work them and sell them. But until you get it to the hub, it's just the wheel going around and around with all those spokes. And if you decide to quit, you broke a spoke. Does that make sense? And if the spoke's broke, you can't repair it unless you stop, start all over, and then you got to go again. So just kind of keep working through that process of what it looks like to you in doing so. People want to know, well, how do I get more leads? And it goes back to this. Think about this for a minute. If I am looking for, let's say, a horse ranch, and I go on the internet, and I see pictures of houses with lots of land, does that really give me what I need to know? But if I have a horse ranch, why would I not be putting pictures of horses and stuff so that it catches your attention? Do you see what I'm saying? We're so focused on here's the house. And there's a lot of people that if they're looking for specific, yes. So we got to learn to broaden our imagination of what we're picturing and what we're doing through that process, and not just always put the front of the house on. I mean, you know, if you've got a kitchen that's a huge, beautiful gourmet kitchen, maybe that's where you start. And that's what you're talking about, is how fabulous this gourmet kitchen is. Or if you've got a living room that will serve and have wonderful family gatherings, then you focus on that. It's not just always what we all do. And if you don't believe me, go in and look at any website. The first thing that opens is a front picture of a house. And that may not be what the whole thing is. So what you're trying to do is focus on the capture of people and what they're looking for. You don't know that, but if your house leans to it, that's what you got to throw out there, is capturing, trying to get more of that. And again, I say this so often to people, the faster you can contact people that hit your website, the more likely you're going to get response and or capture them. Ideally, if you're set up to where there's a phone number and you can immediately text them, even if you're not ready to talk to them or can't talk to them at the moment, but if you have on your phone a little thing that says, sorry, I'm tied up at the moment, but I will get back with you within an hour or something, and hit it immediately, the more likely you are you're going to get it. Normally people, when they have contact information or when they're wanting information or when they fill out something in fact to get more information, they want you to do it within 10 or 15 minutes. And if you don't, if you wait an hour or 2 hours or the next day, you're going to lose them. They've gone on. They've moved on to somebody else's website and got more information to what they
There's
need.
a phone number, is your if you can, call them
Immediately. Immediately. And if you can't call them, like I said, because you're out showing or you're doing something, then have a text. You can copy and paste and says, I will get back with you. Let them know that you saw it, they're interested, and you'll get back with them. Because we miss too many people. If you don't do it within 24 hours, it's a guaranteed gone. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't do it within an hour or two, you've lost them.
Right.
Usually within 10 or 15 minutes, you're gonna lose them. It's
Well, they're so
huge.
used to instant information.
Absolutely.
And
We're a
Yeah.
microwave world.
And
as I
they
say.
don't understand all the other things we're doing during the day.
Right.
They focus on themselves and what they want.
What they want at the moment, exactly. And so you've got to be able to keep them going, because if you don't, you just broke a spoke in the wheel, and they're gonna go on to the next wheel.
Would you say always call instead of text if they give you their information?
My opinion is, here's what the world still believes. We're still touchy-feely people, okay? That will never go away. I think we will always. We lose some of that value of touchy-feely. But if you have a phone number and the first contact is to call them and say how much you appreciate them looking at your website, you notice they had looked at, is there something more they have on that particular property, or would like for you to give them other properties that fits those needs? The voice touch is the best. Tell me, here's where we fall short. We talk to them and we say, appreciate you calling, blah, 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 but we never ask them, what do you want? What are you looking for? How can I help you find what you need? Because they may be looking at this ranch, and so your mindset goes, well, they must be looking for country property. And in fact, they really weren't, but something caught their eye about that particular property. They really want something in town or in a subdivision. So we misconstrued what we're seeing sometimes without asking. So if you can verbally talk to them and they will answer the call, I would verbally talk to them.
Okay.
And then if not, like I said, if you're not where you can do it immediately, text and just say, I will call you in a few minutes to get back with you on a property that I noticed you looked at, or something like that. Okay, it's huge. Questions? I always had, especially when I first got started, but sometimes still, I have a sheet of paper of questions in front of me when I talk to people. If I have floor time, and I'll get off of this just for a second, because sometimes I don't know how you work your leads, if it's company leads or if it's your personal website, it's different. But if you get floor calls, I always have questions to ask people. You want that connection. You got to get that connection. And that connection may be, how many's in your family? Do you have children? What do your children do? Not just all about the house, the house hunt, okay? Find a connection, find that tie-in, because people still want that warm and fuzzy connection in what they're doing. And so it really doesn't matter where you're getting it from or what you're doing. Do y'all Facebook? Do you blog? Do you tweet? All that stuff? You Facebook mostly? Facebook, okay. Which is good, that's fantastic. But here's what I want to iterate on this as well. Don't just put real estate stuff on it.
Right.
Okay? Build that rapport. Make them feel, whoever's watching your Facebook page, bring them in, make them feel comfortable. Talk about different things in the community. Talk about what's going on in your life sometimes. Don't get so deep and personal that they're going, oh my God, this was a nutcase here, right?
I posted a photo, it was the jet pilot going over Kyle Field.
Oh,
The
yeah.
other jets behind him, he did a selfie, and so I posted that. I got so many shares off my
off that
business
line.
website, off my business face page.
Yeah.
Facebook page.
awesome.
It was amazing.
That's it. It's not all
It's
about.
something that's just gonna grab them.
That's right. That's right. And you don't know what's going to hit them, so you just got to try different avenues. Everything. What's going on in the community? What's like in that particular case? Pictures of what's happening in a football game. Great shots of football players. Great shots of a basketball player. I mean, you don't know. And so don't just stay hung up on every day same thing, new listing. Just got this.
Yeah,
What do you look?
people get tired
Let
of
me.
that.
Yeah, they do. They don't want to. Even on your business page, they still don't want that.
I still wanna see things that
Personal.
are different and exciting.
Different and exciting, that's right, and personal as well. So, Blogging is huge. That, I don't know, again, how you're set up with your web stuff here, but blogging helps pull those in an automatic way of websites to run them to the top. So people, if they are looking for something in Bryan College Station, helps open it quicker, helps find it. And if you're doing it on your personal website, it's huge. People always tell me, well, I don't know what to blog. What would you do? How do I know what to say? It doesn't really matter. Again, you're not trying to, yes, you're trying to get business, but what you're really trying to do is build rapport. And so when you're blogging, people, and I say this so much, but people love, general people, even if they're not looking for real estate, like to know things like what the market's doing in Bryan College Station, what the interest rates are doing in Bryan College Station. You know, and I don't know if y'all get it individually or if it comes to the company. I get it, but I'm on the board of directors, so that may be why. You know, we get the stats. Do you get the stats each month?
Monthly.
Oh, yeah, don't put it all on there. It's too much information, okay?
Simple.
Pick something, yeah, pick something. Price range house. Homes in this price range sold 35% more than they did last year, or whatever. That's a simple blog, but it's a little
Right.
stuff like that that people, even if they're not interested in buying real estate, they like to hear.
Right.
What interest rates are doing right now? What type of closing costs are people looking for? Hit some of that stuff, but then go into blogging other stuff as well. What's going on in the community? Don't forget, this is First Friday. Let me tell you a little bit about First Friday in Bryan, downtown Bryan. You know, great restaurants, great music. I mean, just pick up stuff, okay? Hit specific stuff in subdivisions when you're trying to blog. There is so much out there to blog about. I mean, right now, fall pumpkin patches. Where to go take your kids to do pumpkin patch photos.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Things like that is what you want to think about.
Right.
That helps you to drive that business back to you. Again, it's spokes on the wheel and you're filling it to the hub. And so those are huge when you start thinking about those kind of things, when you have people understanding what's going on in the community, at the college, Bush Library. Every time they change whatever's going on, that's another great blog, what they have that they're shocasing for that period of time. That would be a great blog. It doesn't all, like I said, you don't want it all about real estate every time. But here's what you need to focus on, especially if you're newer or even like me. I have a tendency. Let me ask you this. How many times have you started something and never finished it? Ever? In anything in life. Have you ever, you know, I think I'm gonna do this crafty thing, or I'm gonna go do this, and you start something and it never gets finished. Have you ever done that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do it
Why?
like every minute of every day.
Yeah, why do you do that?
I don't know.
What is
My
it?
brain's going 20 million different directions.
That's it. We're all over the place, you know. I say like this. I think like this, and I'm bad about it too. I mean, I have got my fingers in way too many things. You know, I do, and I catch myself visualizing this, and this will help you maybe to try to draw down, because this is where I think this whole thing is. No matter how you're doing it, it's drawing in to focus on one thing and get really good at it. Okay. Figure out what that looks like to you. What one thing do you feel like is going to make you whatever you need, whatever it is. Is it money? Is it listings? Is it buyers? Is it family? Is it husbands? Is it, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Find something, whatever it is, and you focus in on that one thing. I feel like, because, you know, it's like I catch myself a lot of times saying my hair's on fire because it's just I'm all over the place. And so what happens when you do that? What happens to you?
You don't get anything.
You don't
You don't get anything done. That's it. You get nothing done. It's like walking through a fire and the blaze is so huge all around you that you can't focus enough, and so you come out with burn spots everywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
We're drawn so many different directions, though. It's hard to focus in on just one thing and concentrate on it.
It is. It is. You got to make it
You
happen.
really need an assistant.
Yes.
Everybody needs
an
an
assistant.
assistant.
And that may be true, but
When I had an assistant last year, I just felt so free.
did so much more
And
stuff.
I
too.
did so many more sales and
Right.
closings. I was at the title company twice a week.
Right.
And without an assistant, I feel like I'm handicapped.
You're floundering. You don't know which way to turn. You don't know what to do
Well,
next, and
I-
catch yourself all
I
over the
don't
place.
know, you know, I want somebody who takes care of all the little details
Mhm.
so I can focus on the people.
Mhm.
And
And that may be what your one focus is that what you need to go back to it. You need to have that
So
one
get you
person.
one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's it. So what, as I like to say when I talk to people through this, so what would make that work for you? hiring somebody
An
again.
assistant.
Yeah, having a part-time assistant or having somebody that can work for you. And so, why aren't you doing it? Why haven't you done it, if you
I
know
haven't
it?
found anyone else that can fill
That role?
that role.
Okay, so what are you doing to find it? I mean,
I'm not
but-
doing anything.
that's, see, that's
I
my
know
point.
people at the
See?
real
Yeah.
estate grad school at
Mhm.
A&M. I can get you contacts with professors there that they
That
can
would
give
be,
you.
see, that would be
awesome.
perfect, yeah. They already have a little real estate
I
knowledge.
worked at the bank and trust, and a lot of people in the mortgage loan department came from that real estate
Right.
program. So that's how I know. I didn't go. I went to Baylor, but
Mhm.
I know people over there at that college. So I'll get you that contact.
Oh, awesome.
I need an assistant.
Thank you, Taylor.
Oh,
I
there you
do.
go.
I do.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because you know, I've been, like you, over 30 years in real estate, and when we started, it was so much simpler.
So
It was
different.
totally different.
Totally different. It's-
And,
That's not anymore, is
Yeah,
it?
it's not anymore. I mean, it's just,
actually, it was so much easier.
it was simpler. It was simpler.
Even
We
though it
think
was-
the
we didn't
electronic age
have
has
all
made
the
life
up-
easier, but it has not.
No, we didn't have all the up-to-the-minute information
Right?
then that we have now. We had, I mean, the books they printed were out of date before we
You
ever
got it.
got them.
That's right, that's right. We got
But
information out
still,
there.
we took care of the people, and that's where it's all about. That's what it's all
Right.
about, is taking care of the people.
And I think if you focus on that one thing, whatever that is, if it's so taking care of people, if it's, I need more listings, I get this so many times, I don't understand how, I have such a hard time, I need more listings, okay? Let's talk about it, okay? What is one thing that you think would help you to get more listings? What would you think, if that's your goal, to get more listings? What was one thing you would think would help you to get more listings? Any thoughts?
Wherever there's a listing that you like, chances are the listing agent on that house is not sending out
Other people, other information, just listed
information to all the
information.
people
They were the
around them.
neighborhood.
You don't have to say, I've just listed, you can say,
We, company,
The company.
just has just
there's
listed
a
it,
new
whatever it
listing
is.
in your neighborhood.
Right, right.
Or you can say, you don't have to say, I just sold a house, you can say, you have a new neighbor at,
So what makes us
So-
not go do that? I mean, if we know we need more listings and we focus on that one thing that might get us more listings is to go and send out cards to say, in your neighborhood, there's a new property for sale. Just wanted to let you know, help us pick who you would like to have as a neighbor, or help us find your neighbor, or however you wanna, whatever you wanna say. Doesn't matter what you say. Again, if they're not interested, it doesn't matter what you say. So don't get hung up on what to say. People won't do anything because they don't know what to do or what to say. You know?
That's how I feel because
Yeah.
I've just done this for 2 weeks, and so I'm so scared
Yeah, but
to
no, I mean,
say the
because.
wrong thing that I won't say anything.
No, because here's the story. Doesn't matter what they say. If they're not interested, what do you say? If they're not interested. If they're interested, it doesn't matter what you say. They're gonna come to you no matter what you do. It's reaching out. We get so hung up on, well, I need to do this and I need to do that and I gotta do this and I gotta do that and I don't know where to start, so I don't do anything. I don't know what to say. I don't know where to start. I don't know what's next, whether it's web stuff or not. So that's why I say, we gotta stop, just race the award and pick one thing that you need to focus on and do. And that's all I want you to do. Just focus on one thing, whatever it is, listings, buyers, more education. I don't know what your one thing is, okay? But here's, we get so hung up on doing those things. So ask yourself and follow through. Maybe you have to help each other, okay, with this. But like I just said, so if you needed more listings, what would you do? You just named it. So why don't people do that? Because they don't know what to do, they don't know what to say. Well, let's figure it out
yeah.
and then go get it done.
Well, and we have, you know, with Danielle and with Brittany, I mean, we have templates for postcards and things,
Mhm.
and we have a resource that sends them out for less than $1 each, and so, the thing is compiling the information, I guess, for the addresses and the names, and, you know, you just, if you have somebody behind the scenes who can do all that for you.
Helps a lot. Helps
then,
you. Sure,
yeah,
sure.
Then you,
But if you
she
don't,
pays for herself,
right, I'll agree with that.
because,
It makes you
Otherwise-
free to do,
yeah, otherwise,
Better
you're
things.
doing all the data work, and you're not out there with the people.
right. Here's what we get so hung up on, and I'm probably one of the worst as well, because I catch myself all the time, and I'm just like, okay, stop it, Sarah. We all have 24 hours in a day. There's not a one of us that has more or less than 24 hours in a day, okay? So it's how we spend that time. You can chase rabbits all day long, and you can work 14 or 15 or 18 hours a day and still get nothing accomplished. Because you're going in every direction. Stop, focus, and get it done. Don't stop until you, that's right.
Pick that piece of paper.
Don't stop until you get that one thing done. Don't say, well, now I need to go do this. I gotta go get it done. Whatever it is, focus on it. Because again, we all have the same amount of time.
Do the hardest
There's no
thing
time.
first, because then
Right.
everything else is so easy.
Call it eating that frog.
There you go.
Eat that frog.
There you go.
Do the hardest things first. Eat the
That
frog.
poison frog.
So that taste is out of your mouth when you're finished. Get it done first. Because if you don't, here's what happens to you. You dread doing something all day long. Maybe you need to call somebody. Maybe you've had it, and this is what I hear the most. It drives me nuts. I don't get it, but I guess I get it. You have a listing. You don't know what to tell the seller, so you don't call him today to tell him that there's really no activities going on. And so a week goes by, that's it. You don't want to call him and tell him that. And a week goes by, and you still need to call him and tell him what's going on with his listing so he can hear from you and understand what's going on. But you didn't call him last week, so now you're more worried because what am I going to tell him? Because I don't want to call him now. Before you know it, a month's gone by and you still haven't talked to him.
And he thinks you left him.
That's it. You think he's abandoned, right? Eat the frog.
Right.
Get rid of it. Call and just say, hey, I just wanted you to know we're still working on trying to get people into your home. Sorry we haven't had any activity. Things are a little slow, but I just wanted to touch base with you. Eat the frog. Then you're through, because if you don't, you worry about it all day long and you can't get anything else going on over here because it's in the back of your mind what's happening.
That's life in general.
It is, and everything we
you have a
do.
problem in life, just,
Deal with it.
talk about it right
Get it
away,
away.
get it
That's
out in the
right.
open,
That's right.
and then deal with it.
That's right. It's just like with your kids. You know, I used to think about it, and I still hear it a lot of times. And I've never been one of these people. If your kids have been misbehaving, if you've had kids, and your kids are misbehaving, don't use this excuse. Wait till your daddy gets home.
Right, yeah, I know.
Take care of it. That's what you're there for,
Right?
right?
You make them dread it all day long.
I still do
No.
that
You
every
take care of it
time.
and then say, and now wait till your daddy gets home and let me
Yeah,
tell
I agree.
him, okay? Don't
Yeah,
push it
that's
off.
kinda what I do.
Sometimes I think I'm too confrontational, but I'm too like, okay, let's deal with this because this is weighing on me too heavy. Let's deal with this.
Uh-huh.
And then other people get offended.
Well, and
because-
I'm very vocal. Okay, I am. I always have been. That's not anything new. The older I get, I think the more vocal I get. But the point of
Me
what
too.
you're doing is sometimes it is better. What I have had to try to learn to do is how to say it. Okay.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything. It's not what you say. It's
Right.
how you
How you
say it.
say it.
You know,
Yeah.
examples I always use when I teach that class, I have a class that I do some of that on, and one of the examples I always use is something like this. Oh, you got a new haircut.
Mm.
Looks good.
Now
I'm gonna say the exact same thing. Okay, now,
My mom is like,
okay.
oh, that's a new dress.
Now, let me say this. Let me listen. Oh, you got a new haircut. It looks so good.
Uh-huh.
I said the exact same thing, did I
Right.
not? Okay, so it's not what you
Sure.
say. We got to get away from the worriness of what
Sure,
we say as much as
inflection.
how we say it.
Right.
Okay,
I
and
agree.
that's so. Don't worry about what you're saying. No, I don't know, so I don't know what to say. So I'm scared to say anything. Just pull the
Say it
trigger.
nicely.
Yeah. As I always say, I'm really bad about ready, fire, ready, fire. Sometimes I shoot myself in the foot because I forget to aim. But if you go ready, aim, 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 and you never fire, where are you going to get? Right?
Right.
Fire it. You'll learn from your mistakes. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
It's a huge thing with that, I do believe. So now let me tell you, because I want to draw in a little bit more on that anybody can do it, anywhere, anytime, whatever it is. You got to focus on your it. If your it is getting more listings, then anybody can do it. What makes ordinary people extraordinary? Think about that for a minute. People aren't born extraordinary.
Attitude,
Attitude, that's good. What else makes
persistence.
persistence? Yeah. We are all ordinary, okay? God gave us the same amount of time. God gave us different talents, but He gave us all the function of mind to be able to work whatever talent we have. We are all made in one image, okay? What we get, I see people ask me all the time, well, gosh, you've been in this business so long, and so, what made you be able to stay here or do? I got into the real estate business. I was gone, as I said yesterday, half of it be gone.
Yeah.
I was in it 6 months and I couldn't make it. So what makes some people make it and some people not? Why are there top producers up here that just blows and goes and does grand, yet there's people down here that struggle to even make a living at it? What's the difference? What is extraordinary to art in here? What is it? Any thought? Attitude
I
is
think
what you said?
attitude is huge.
Huge,
Yeah.
yeah.
Attitude is everything.
Focus.
Like what you're
And
saying.
persistent, I mean, you have to be persistent. If you,
Mhm.
you know, the first couple things may not work out, but you gotta keep going. I mean, you know, you can't give up.
Right.
I think those people never stop networking or
Never
going
stop
to things
working.
and meeting new people rather than like, oh, I have enough people in my circle.
Some
Yeah.
people are shy, but I guess you can be shy and sell real estate.
Well, you
too,
can,
though.
yeah,
I
I mean,
know a lot of shy
there,
people that